Welcome to my first episode of the Silver Bayonet. I will be playing the solo scenarios for a short little campaign, and then in the future we'll be doing a co-op campaign. And today we will be using a British force, and we will be starting with the first scenario, the Wolf Pack. 2 weeks ago, a specialist unit was sent in search of a lost chapel deep in the forest. They never returned. Now your unit has been dispatched to find the missing unit, or to learn their fate, and to see if you can locate the lost chapel yourselves. If the missing unit is located, it is imperative that their orders be recovered, so that they don't fall into enemy hands. Following the trail of the previous unit proved no trouble at all, as they left obvious tracks, and there has been little rain to wash them away. For 3 days you follow their trail into the ever-deepening gloom of the dark woods. Then, near dusk on the 3rd day, you come upon a scene of carnage. It appears you have found the missing unit. However, before you can confirm this, you hear a bone-tingling howl from a nearby, and suddenly bright eyes are staring at you from the shadows all around. Alright, so before we begin the scenario, I will walk you guys through my British list. So first off, we have my Lieutenant Cunningham. He's equipped with a pistol, fencing weapon, cold iron shot, and holy symbol. He has the attributes hard to put down and inspiring, so he will be able to give a +1 courage to people within range, and it'll be hard to take out. And then also, next up, we have my heavy cavalryman, Trooper Hendrickson. He has the attributes of combat rider, so he'll be riding a horse when I can. And his equipment is the breastplate, hand weapon, and pistol. And then next up, we have my veteran hunter, Sergeant Stark. He has the attributes indefatigable, and then his equipment is rifle, cartridge box, fencing weapon, and he has the silver weapon upgrade. And then next up for my last elite unit, I have Hunts with Wolves. He is a native scout. He has the Master of Cover attribute, and he is equipped with a musket and cartridge box. And then for my infantrymen in the back here, starting with the left one, we have Private Anderson, and equipped with a musket and cartridge box. Private Hill, and Private Moore, all with the same loadout. So, with that, we'll go on to the scenario. Alright, with Lieutenant Cunningham and his group surrounded by dark wolves, we'll begin the scenario. So we'll start with Private Hill here. He's going to take a shot at this dark wolf. Got a +1 accuracy, 9, 10, that is a miss. And he's just going to stay there so he can reload. Alright, next up, we'll do my trooper, my heavy cavalryman. He's going to go charging into that dark wolf, giving him a +1 to the charge, for being on his horse, and he already has a +2 in melee. And that is a terrible miss. Alright, and then the wolf will strike back. Oh no. That's no good. That is definitely a hit for 10 damage. I'm going to use my power die to try to negate that. Nope. And I only negate it down to 1 damage. Oh. So that leaves him on 3 health left, as he gets mauled by the dark wolf. Alright, and then they will step back. It's not looking good. Alright, and then I get to activate one more. We're going to do Sergeant Stark here, he's gonna try and save Trooper Hendrickson. So he's just gonna take a shot at the Dark Wolf, seeing that he's in trouble. So he's a +2, and that is a 9, 10, 11. That is a miss. And with that, he's going to go charging forth. Leaving him unloaded. Alright. And that is all I can do. Activating half my units. So then we go on to the monster phase. Alright, starting with the monster phase. This wolf over here reveals itself to be a werewolf. And then we'll start off with this wolf over here. Already getting into a scrap. It's going to charge forth into the Hendrickson and take a bite out of him. That is a 11, which will not do it. And then Hendrickson is going to take a swing back. So they both already have a fatigue. And then Hendrickson gets, that is a 12, -1, but he has a +2 melee. That will do it. He does get this swing off on the wolf, and 8 damage is enough to take it out. We got lucky there. But he now has 2 fatigue points. And then we'll start off with this one down here, who's just going to go charging into Hendrickson's flank. After already cutting down one wolf, another one comes out of the shadows for a strike. And unfortunately, there's a 13. What is Hendrickson's defense? 13. That'll do it. Hendrickson gets taken out by the wolf, giving us our first casualty. Not good. Alright, and then moving on to this wolf, it's just going to move. Let's see. It would not have line of sight on Stark, so it's going to move this way towards the lieutenant. And then following up with this one, it's definitely going to go charging in to Lieutenant Hendrickson. Or, not Lieutenant Hendrickson. Lieutenant Cunningham. And take a bite out of him. Nope, missing. And then Lieutenant will take a strike back. Oh yeah, that'll do it. As Lieutenant Cunningham strikes down the wolf, taking it out. Alright, moving on over here. It's going to go charging forward. Advancing on the party. Followed by this one over here. And, of course, this one cannot see any enemies, so it's going to go move towards this objective marker, or clue marker. And then that leaves the werewolf, which I'll have to double check the speed, but I'm assuming it's 8, which will probably get in contact with this poor private right here, and we'll see what happens. Alright, the werewolf only has a speed of 6, so Private Anderson gets lucky as he sees a werewolf heading straight for him. And then that'll end the monster phase, letting me activate the rest of my units. So we will start off with Lieutenant Cunningham. He's going to, he's going to shoot his pistol at this wolf. Ooh. Which will definitely penetrate, killing that wolf. And then for his movement, he will charge into this wolf, letting him do a melee attack. And that is an 11 +1 to his +2 to his melee, which will do it, taking out another wolf as he starts gunning down wolves and firing off his pistol, leaving him unloaded. Alright, next up we'll do Dances with Wolves, or Hunts with Wolves. He's going to shoot into that wolf there. With his musket, missing for 9, 10, yep. And then he's just going to stay there to reload again. And then, let's see. Alright, Private Hill, or Anderson. He's going to shoot into the werewolf. For a 9, 10. Werewolf has defense 13, miss. Completely missing. And then he's just going to reload. Alright, and then last Private Moore. He's going to shoot at that wolf there. Which will definitely hit. Dealing 8 damage, taking out another wolf. And that will end phase 2 for the players. And we will move on to the next round. Alright, starting off on round 2, I rolled for the random events table for the wolves. And I rolled an 8, which is nothing happens. So I lucked out there. So, starting off, I activate half my units, which is just 3. So we're going to start off with Sergeant Stark, and seeing the werewolf, and being the only one with a silver weapon, he's going to go running in that direction. And then for his second action, he's going to attempt to sprint. And that is a fail. So I believe it's only 2 inches. Which is actually just enough to get in there. Alright, and then he's going to use his silver weapon to take a swing. Oh, look at that. That is a 15 plus 2 to melee. That'll do it, and that's 10 damage. And I'll have to double check to see how much damage the silver weapon does. Alright, since the werewolf is allergic to silver weapons, it doesn't get any damage reduction, so it takes 10 damage, leaving it with 2 left. And then it will strike back. And that is a 12, which, let's see, defense 14, that is a miss. It just, wait, let's double check. Melee plus 2, that is a 14, that just hits. And now I'm going to have to double check the power die. Alright, it was 2 damage from the werewolf, which he does also get a plus 1 to his damage for being strong. So I'm left with Sergeant Stark is left with 9 health left, and then he will take a step back, and the werewolves take a step back. And then I can move on to my next activation, which will be Private Moore? No, Private Hill. I'm going to have to get some identifiers. Alright, Private Hill is going to take a shot at this wolf over here. Ooh, and that is an 18 plus 1, 19. That'll do it. That takes out that wolf. I am mowing these down. And then instead of reloading, he's going to move towards this clue marker. Get an unload marker there. And then for my final character, we're going to do Private Anderson. He's going to try and take out the werewolf. That is 11, 12 with a plus 1. It has a defense of 13. Just misses. I'm going to re-roll with my skill die. And that'll do it. Taking out the werewolf in its tracks before it can cause any mayhem. I'll take it. Alright, and then that is the end of my first phase. Let's see. He's going to then move forward towards that clue marker, leaving him unloaded. Alright, and then we'll go into the monster phase. Alright, for an impressive round of the British forces, there's only one wolf left, and it is just going to move towards Lieutenant Cunningham. For innate movement, reduced. I think for the rough terrain, it's like 4 inches. And then that's all it can do. Leaving me to roll for the activation, or for the monster, or the wolf event table, which is a 1. More wolves arrive. Place 2 dark wolves in a random table corner. Okay. And that'll be... So, actually, I need to roll a d8. So that will be this table corner over here for 1. And that table quarter over there for another. Alrighty, and starting off with phase 1 of the British phase, we're going to start over here with Private Hill. He's going to use his first activation to look for a clue, which is Jack of Diamonds. So upon searching the corpse, he finds a silver medallion upon its neck, giving him a silver weapon bonus for the rest of the scenario. And then he's going to use his second activation just to reload. And then moving on, we'll do Private Hill over here. No, Private Anderson. He's going to reload, and for his second activation, look for another clue, which is the Queen of Diamonds, which is silver knife. Treat all of the investigating figures' melee attacks as a silver weapon. So another silver weapon, and we got a power die for the Jack of Diamonds as well. I'll take it, just in case we get another werewolf. Alright, and then my last one, we're going to do Lieutenant Cunningham. He's going to move up to this clue marker, and he's going to search that one as well, which is the 10 of Diamonds. And that is the missing orders. The investigating figure may pick them up without spending an action. If this figure is reduced to 0 hit points, it drops the order when it fails, where it falls. Mark this spot on the table, any other unit. Alright. So he's picked up the orders, and it's time to get out of here, unless I decide to search for more scenarios or more clues. Alright, and then that ends my first half of the phase. Moving on to the wolves. And we'll just start over here with this wolf. It's going to go charging towards Private Moore. Take a swing on him. Oof. And that'll do it for 10 damage. How much health they got? They only got 10 health. So I'm going to use my 1 power die that I just got to negate that. Negating it for 3. Leaving him with 3 health left. And then he's going to take a swing at it with his hand weapon. And let's see, that'll do the damage. So, yep. Alright, and then that is 7 damage. Not enough to take out the wolf, leaving it with 1 health left. And both of them have fatigue. I just realized that not all of them do power dice for the damage, which was the fencing weapon, which is what Private Stark had. So he probably didn't do that much damage on the werewolf to begin with. But we'll just have to say he did. Alright, next up, we'll do this wolf over here. It's just going to move over here towards Lieutenant Cunningham, followed by this wolf in this corner, which goes charging up this way. Alright, and that is the end of the monster phase, leaving me to activate the rest of my units. So, we'll start with Sergeant Stark. He's going to reload, and then shoot at that wolf. And this is a skill die as well for a rifle. And that is a 10. He's got a plus, what has he got? A plus 1? Plus 2 to accuracy. So that is a 12, which is enough. Dealing 9 damage to that wolf, taking it out. And then that'll... Oh, he didn't move, so he does reload. Okay, and then what we got left? We got Dances with Wolves, or Hunts with Wolves. He's going to shoot at that wolf. And that'll do it. He's got a plus 1. Taking out that wolf as well. We're having some good shooting for once. Alright, and then for his second action, he's just going to move this way towards the board edge. Seeing it's time to move on. And then lastly, we got this private. He's going to follow behind Hunts with Wolves and sprint for a second action, which won't. Giving him another 2 inches. Right there. Still unloaded. And then that's it for this round. Alright, Wolf event table is a 10, which is a werewolf arrives. Place 1 werewolf in the corner of the table edge that would put it closest to a soldier. Ooh. I believe that's Lieutenant Cunningham. That's not good. Alright, next round. Alrighty. The werewolf appears in this table corner edge directly near Lieutenant Cunningham. Alright, and then I get my first phase. I'm going to activate my first 3 units. I'm definitely going to activate Lieutenant Cunningham. He is going to... I think he's just going to have to go at this wolf already being unloaded. He's just going to strike at it with his saber. And that is a 16, which will do it. With an 8 damage. Wolves have, I believe they only have 8 damage. Dark Wolf. Health 8, that'll do it. Taking out that wolf. And then, the second action, he's going to use a sprint. Actually, yeah, he's going to sprint. Which fails. Giving him 2 inches of movement. He's going to run that way, away from the werewolf. Alright. And then we're going to activate Sergeant Stark. He's got an eye for werewolves. And he's going to take a shot at the werewolf. So it'll be a -2 for moving and cover. And that'll definitely miss, leaving him unloaded. Alright, and then my third activation will just be Dances or Hunts with Wolves. I keep wanting to say Dances with Wolves. Alright, and he's just gonna move up to this clue marker, and he'll search it. Why not? King of Diamonds. supposed to be using spades, but it's fine. Bag of silver shot. Trade all the investigating figures shooting attacks as silver for the rest of the scenario. So more silver. Which doesn't really, well, it might help me next round. And then that's all he can do. That's my 3 activations. So now it's the monster phase, which is the werewolf, which is going to move 6 inches straight into combat with Lieutenant Cunningham, who has a fatigue. Alright, monster. Oh man. That is an 18 for 10 damage. Plus 1 for 11 damage total. And I can't reduce it because I've used all my skill dice and power dice. So he is left on 1 wound left. Alright. And then he will strike back. Which he does manages to get a blow in for 9. What did that be? That would be 9 damage, reduced to 4. Leaving the werewolf with... How much health is he got? Got 12 health. Alright, so leaving it with 8 health left. Giving Lieutenant Cunningham a 2nd fatigue. Alright, now that's it for the monster phase. So, let's see what happens on the event table. 2. That is more wolves. Place 2 dark wolves on the random table edge. Okay. So, let's see here. That'll be that corner edge over there. And this corner over here. For 2 more wolves. Alright, and then we'll go on to the next round. Alrighty, starting off with my first 3 figures. We're definitely going to do, get rid of these fatigue markers. Definitely going to do Lieutenant Cunningham. He's just going to run to the board edge. And then sprint, which will get him off the board edge to safety. Alright, and then we'll do Hunts with Wolves. He's going to turn and take a shot at the werewolf. And that is a 12, which will do it, dealing 3 damage down to 1 for damage reduction. Actually, it's damage reduction 4, so he absorbs that completely. Alright. Well, with that, seeing he does no damage, he runs off the board. And then my last unit, we're going to do Sergeant Stark. He is going to he's going to reload, take a shot at the werewolf. He wants a 2nd kill. And that'll miss. Alright. And then he didn't move, so he reloads again. And then my last unit, which is this injured private, he's going to run this way so he doesn't catch the attention of the werewolf. And then he's going to sprint, which, I believe that is an additional 4 inches. I'll have to double check. And that'll be the last activation, moving on to the monster phase. Alright, kicking it off with the monster phase, the werewolf is going to start running towards Sergeant Stark. As Sergeant Stark stands defiantly in front of the werewolf, shouting to the rest of the men to get off the board edge, he'll stall for time and hold it up as they make their escape. And then this wolf is going to head towards one of the privates. Soldiers not quite getting in range. Just leaving me to activate my last 2 troopers. Let's see. You know what? I activated 1 too many men. But that's fine. With that, though, we'll do... Yeah. This private's gonna get to the board edge and then sprint off. Leaving this private here, who will also get to the board edge and sprint off the table. Leaving just 2 of my men left. Ending the round. And then that'll do another wolf event, which is 6. Another wolf arrives. Place 1 dark wolf in the center of the random table edge. Let's see where. 2 are right over there. And then we'll move on to the next round. Alrighty. Start of my phase. This private, he's just going to use his activation to run and sprint off the board. Getting him to safety. Leaving just Sergeant Stark, the veteran hunter, alone with 2 wolves and a werewolf. And he's going to... Let's see... He's going to use his rifle to unload into the werewolf for a... That's an 11 plus 2 to his accuracy. Yes, which will do it, giving him 7 damage, reduced by 5, only taken. So the werewolf only takes 2 damage. And then he's going to move into combat with the werewolf. And that is a miss, giving him 1 fatigue. Let me double check. Let's see here. Yep. Okay, just checking to see if the clues that I discovered gave me another power die, but it does not. So it can't do anything. And then the werewolf's going to take a strike back, which does miss as well, as they both take a fatigue, and then they will back up an inch as they square off, shooting, swinging blows. Alright, and then that just leaves the werewolf, or the wolf phase, the monster phase, and the rest of the wolves are just going to start closing in on Sergeant Stark. And this one will actually go to the clue marker, because I can't see him. And then that's the end of the round. Monster event 5, I believe that is another wolf. It is. Arriving in that table edge again. And we'll just go straight into the next round. Get rid of these fatigue tokens. Sergeant Stark is unloaded. Seeing he is in danger. Does he risk it? He's unloaded. He's gonna do it. He goes in for the kill. He's bloodthirsty for another werewolf. And he's gonna take a swing. Oh, that is a miss. Werewolf will swing back. That is a 10. Plus 2 is a 12. Which will not do it. Sergeant Stark lives to see another battle. As they both take fatigue. Let's see. He's got a second action though. He's going to use that to run in this direction. Alright, monster phase. This wolf will definitely be able to get into striking range. And that is an 11. Let's see here. 12, which is, and his defense is reduced to 13, so it misses. Then he's going to swing back with his blade, which does do it for 4 damage. Because it is a skill damage die with a fencing weapon. And then they'll back away. Actually, I don't think the monsters will back away. So we'll just leave that there. And then these wolves are gonna start moving in towards him. Next round. That's a 10. There's another werewolf, which will come in. Let's see here. And this table edge. Right there. And Sergeant Stark, seeing that another werewolf has moved onto the table at the start of the next round, he's going to use that to run and then sprint off the board to safety as he wishes he got that second werewolf kill. And then with that, that is the end of the scenario. Only 1 casualty. We'll see what happens to him on the next scenario. I think that went pretty well. Made a couple of mistakes, but we'll get better as we go. Thanks for watching, guys.